On this picture-perfect Sunday afternoon in Southern California, we welcome you to the culmination of Championship Sunday at 2024 USA Ultimate Club Nationals. Champions abound. We saw in the men's division Rhino hoist the trophy for the first time, and then Hybrid won in the mixed division, and now we settle a score that has been brewing for over a decade. San Francisco Fury and Washington, D.C. Scandal, both 5-0 at Nationals so far, and both coming off exhilarating semifinal wins last night. Fury surviving Molly Brown's comeback bid 15-12, and Scandal and Brute delivered one of the more memorable women's semis we have ever seen last night. Brute gave it all they had, but eventually it was Scandal with Claire Trope being too good. Good afternoon and welcome once again, everybody. Alongside Katie Killebrew, I'm Evan Lepler, and the question for me, Katie, is can Scandal harness the momentum from last night against the juggernaut that is Fury?
Claire Trope had an all-time performance, and I think that in order for Scandal to come over the top of Fury, she's going to have to do it again.
Well, it's been 7 years since Fury and Scandal met at Nationals, but they've played in the last two U.S. Open finals. Last year in Aurora, Colorado, Claire Trope survived the San Francisco comeback, and Fury was the second place finisher. This past August, the result flipped. Of course, Scandal made it all the way to the finals of Nationals last year before losing to Brute Squad, a Brute team that eliminated Fury in last year's semi. But this year, it is Fury and it is Scandal, and Claire Trope is living a dream right now.
Arguably the best player in the women's division.
Fury looking for its 13th championship. Of course, the San Francisco program had won every title, 7 straight from 06 to 2012 before Scandal stunned Fury in the 2013 final. Scandal beat Fury in that game again the next year. That was 2014, and today Scandal seeks its first championship since that day. In their 5 games so far, they've outscored their opponents 75-47. They've only allowed 3 more goals than Fury has. And here's a look at some of the semis highlights last night. Exhilarating moments from beginning to end.
It was one of the more thrilling games I've had the pleasure to watch. And that layout from Kat Rittman, the fog rolling in at the end, it was a dynamic presence from Scandal, and they really outlasted Brute Squad in that game.
10 of the final 14 points were scored by the D-line, and Claire Trope to Allie Wallace to close it out. Claire Trope, quite simply, is a star at the peak of her powers. She can throw, she can catch, she can lead. She's upped her mental game, I believe, Katie. She's the whole package.
She is, but has shared before that sometimes struggles from nerves, getting more hype in the moment. Talking with Coach Ty Adderhold, saying that sometimes they've had to schedule extra things just to help keep her players' minds active. But Claire Trope is doing a much better job of managing the emotions, but we'll see what happens today in the final.
San Francisco Fury. It's been a few years since they've hoisted the trophy. But so far this weekend, they've outscored their opponents 75-44 through their first 5 games. And look, Anna Thompson continues to make ridiculous plays at Nationals, whether she's playing for Fury or whether she was a standout for AMP in her mixed division days. This was a wild game last night, too. Molly Brown nearly overcame multiple 4-point deficits. But Fury and Dina Ali-Melek were too good down the stretch.
They did an excellent job, and in this case, I think Fury's depth, really having multiple lines that could go out and really make highlight-level plays, where Molly Brown's total depth didn't step up to the package in the same way. But the highlight for me was Anna Thompson and the physical layout presence that she had on the field last night.
And she's been doing it for a long time, as I mentioned. Let's flash back to the legendary mixtape AMP final, where Thompson just made one heroic play after another. And there was no adjustment period when she joined Fury for the first time in 2021. continues making great plays last night under the lights against Molly Brown. Fury won the flip and chose to start on O. In their trademark blue jerseys, Fury seeking their 13th championship. We had it in the matchup notes. It's the 18th year in a row, Katie, that the women's final has included Fury, Brute, or both of them. That streak continues. There have only been 4 women's champions in the last 16 years, the last 17 years at Nationals. This afternoon, we saw the 11th different men's team hoist the trophy since 2006. We saw the 12th different mixed team hoist the trophy, but in the women's division, it's been the core 4, Fury, Scandal, Brute, and Molly with their 1 championship over Fury 2 years ago. It is bright, sunny, and warm here at Canyon Crest Academy. Anna Thompson and Anna Nazaroff slinging it back and forth. Amanda Murphy, the 2 number 33s coming together with Murphy on Nazaroff. Murphy tried to jump the lane and then bumped Nazaroff, regaining position. On the restart, Imanishi. And in power position, it's Thompson. Murphy has switched on to Anna Thompson. Imanishi to the middle of the field, tight window throw, and Margot Sturt into the end zone, connecting with Sarah Von Depp. It's a clean hold for Fury to start the 2024 women's final.
Really clean possession here from Fury. Sturt coming over from Polar Bears in the mixed division and putting that up for fellow rookie Von Depp.
First women final for both of those players. Third member of our broadcast crew, Kelsey Percy, down on the field. Kelsey, you can keep that credential on. No good. Take it away.
It is electric down out here on the field. Both teams are completely dialed in. There's a little bit of wind. You can still feel the heat, but these are pretty perfect conditions for a really epic game. Back to you, Evan.
All right, Kelsey, keep us posted on what you hear and see down on the sideline. The DC fans were loud and proud last night as Scandal had one of the wild roller coaster semifinal experiences, Katie, we've ever seen. They were down 8-7 at half. They went on a 4-0 run to take an 11-8 lead. Then they gave up 4 straight goals, fell behind 12-11. And chatting with Ty Adderhold, the Scandal coach before today's game, he said that was the moment that stood out most to him, how his team bounced back and closed on a 4-1 run from there to win it 15-13. And both Ty Adderhold and Kath Ratcliffe knew when Claire Trope's mark went sailing by and she had a wide open lane to wind up and unleash the backhand. That was all she wrote.
I don't know when
that is correct.
I don't know when, but it was a few.
I saw it. It was 6.
Okay.
Carolyn Finney marking Tyler Smith. Here's Marie Perivier, who along with Trope was one of Scandal's top stars in the semis. First touch for Trope, picked up by Kirsten Johnson. Now Rahamo Zafari playing in her first women's division final at the club championships. Longtime player alongside Anna Thompson with Philly Amp in the mixed division.
A pick in the backfield.
3 full seconds ago. What was the highest number you said? So it's coming soon.
Mozafari, 15 years with Philly Amp. Beg your pardon. 17 years with Philly Amp. 06 to 23. Werfeli on the count and a quick flip to Trope. Perivier, marked by Scazietti. And a wide open target downfield, Neda Tremonte. Scandal looking to match Fury's opening hold. And Trope makes a nice catch near the sideline. Slithers it all the way to the end zone to a wide open Tremonte. Strong start for both teams' O-lines.
It's interesting to see these teams start to settle in this game. Very different from those nighttime games that they were playing in semifinals last night, even though that it's the same field, but it really isn't the same environment. Yes. And this really had to go straight up the sideline. Trope finds that, as you said, slithering up the sideline, finding that really narrow hallway of space. I think we're going to watch these defenses learn each other very quickly, and we're going to start seeing some high-flying play.
Fury awaits the pull from Annalise Peters. There are multiple members of Scandal's last championship team here today. Obviously, Kath Ratcliffe, who played for Scandal's title teams under Alex Gesquier, 2013-2014. Of course, Opie Payne was a key member of those teams. She's wearing a Fury jersey on the Fury sideline today, former Fury champ as well. We saw Scandal fluster Brute Squad with his own last night. Ty Adderholt certainly hoped for the same today. Deep shot looking for McKinley McQuaid, and she's got it! Another Fury rookie making a huge statement to start the final.
McKinley McQuaid has only been playing Ultimate for 3 years, but this is one of the reasons that they are so special. You can see Han Chen putting it out into space. Multiple of the Fury cutters had been splitting the defender, and McQuaid attacks the end zone with conviction there with the layout score. And it was also really good of Fury. I think that the experience of Cree Howard actually in the middle of that zone is what helped move it. The handlers were moving and swinging, which is what we saw Brute Squad doing yesterday, but they weren't able to get it through. And Cree Howard actually did a really good job in the middle of that to find an outlet and then punched it out. It's that kind of experience of cutters on Fury, that depth, that will probably be the difference in this windless zone situation that we have seen Scandal run.
No turns yet. Mozafari to Trope. There is a very slight breeze going right to left, so Scandal with a wind at its back. Karina Wolleson back for Mozafari. Trope chased by Johnson. Tremonte feeds it across midfield. And Kira Flores gets her first touch. Scandal doing a really nice job staying disciplined, Katie, in their spacing, in their cutting lanes. Cool, calm, and collected for Perivier. Difficult throw to finish the point, but it works. Flores gets the foot down inbounds, and we're tied 2-2.
Was actually throwing a forced middle. You can sometimes hear on the sideline those calls of home, 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 away, away, away. And in that case, Perivier doing a really great job to break the mark, and Flores goes ups and over, keeps the foot in bounds. But it's those kind of coaching decisions. We saw a zone from Scandal, then we saw a forced middle from Fury. It's those kind of executions in those zones to try to fluster teams out of their regular offensive possession. We're already seeing the chess game between these two coaches begin.
A lot of brain power on both sidelines. Mentioned Ty Adderhold and Kath Radcliffe, and obviously that guy has won quite a few championships at the national and international level. That, of course, would be Matty Singh, who has led Fury mostly since 2006. He had an abrupt retirement before returning. He is also solo parenting this weekend, so he's got both of his daughters with him. Getting ready for his fourth cycle as one of the key USA World Games coaches, an assistant under Alex Guesquier, whom he used to battle against in the Fury Scandal matchup, and now taking the torch himself. Here's Cree Howard. To Han Chen, an awkward catch, but Chen pops right back up. Former UCLA star gives it to Carolyn Finney. Finney had an incredible college career of her own at UC Santa Barbara. She played in the final in all 5 years she was in college. But there's the game's first turnover.
And that was the mark by Gentilette, really shutting down every single option.
Gentilette's mark allowed Lisa Dang to get her hands on the desperation laser pass. Scandal's D-line was so good last night against Brute Squad in the conversion department. A chance to draw first blood against Fury here in the final. Howard sets the mark. Marge Walker needs a reset and gets one. Murphy coming underneath, but there's no lane to get it to her. For a while now, it's just been Walker and Dang, and here's Gentilette. Thinking about it, Rudin with an aggressive mark. Credit Fury's O-line for playing really tough D, but now Scandal. Across midfield, Cammie Groom holstered what could have been a deep shot for Murphy. Cree Howard gets a piece of Allie Wallace's backhand, and a foul was called.
Foul, there's no contest. We'll be coming in, restarting with the check, starting on one.
Dang takes the shot, and she underthrew Gentilette. Rudin deflects it to the ground. Howard in the middle of the field, a low throw and a great catch by Chen, and she winds up long, but double coverage is there and players collide and a foul is called.
Chen, no hesitation after that rolling catch. You can see Rudin trying to change direction as reading the disc, and Gentilette kind of coming in through the legs there, which is probably the discussion.
Did that look like a foul to you, Katie?
I got tangled. All I know is that it wasn't my body. My ankle was stepped on. And that's like you putting down on it and making me fall over as I'm running. So I think it makes sense that it's a foul call.
Was it catchable?
Yeah, I mean, I was still running. So did I.
Okay.
I lost being able to play on it.
As did I. Should we go to the observer?
Do you all have a resolution?
We don't.
Okay.
We're going to go to you.
Okay. So the observer ruling is that it is a foul.
Can you explain why it's a foul?
You initiated the contact at the line.
Yeah, I don't think Rudin is catching that disc with how she read it. But Jonna Hammaker joins us in the booth, one of the lead observers for USA Ultimate. Catchability is a hard thing for an observer to judge, and the leg contact there looked convincing.
Yeah, the leg contact was definitely there, and to overrule that as a foul, you would have to be 90% certain that she could not have caught that disc.
Thank you, Jonna. So Fury maintains possession. This is an 0 point for San Francisco. Each team has turned it once. And a pick downfield lets everybody take a breath. Disc in the hands of Marissa Mead. Stall count rising. Mead upfield, intercepted. Picked off by Wallace. Deep shot, Cammie Groom. Not this time.
The defensive pressure that this Scandal line is putting on the handlers, they're giving them no options. And then as the stall count rises, they clamp down on those resets even more, making it so difficult to move the disc if you don't move it early.
Mead to Howard. It's been a long point after a long weekend. Rudin nice inside. In rhythm for Finney, who throws it into coverage, and Mead denied by Walker. But Marissa takes a foul.
Take your time.
It does look like there was contact with the head there as
Just take a
Mead
moment.
takes a moment.
Take a look.
Yeah, you can ask a rules clarification.
So, I mean, you got the...
Everything do before the throw, so this is not going to change resolution.
Right. You can, yeah, you are welcome to still ask.
Okay, well, I guess on the follow-through, if I get hit, is that a foul or not?
You can make a claim for a foul that affects your attempt to make an initial catch as well as a continued catch. But it doesn't. But for this one, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to send the disc back. I'm going to give you this to send back.
We have a sub.
There was an injury away
Yes,
from
you
the...
did. And this
from
is
the-
where you are in the right spot. I got it. We're good. I got it.
Jonna Hammaker,
It's going over there.
is any contact to the head, especially something of a downward strike, considered a dangerous play?
So contact to the head can certainly be a dangerous play, and I think it depends on the force and if it's glancing off or if it's straight on the head. In this case, it looks like there wasn't a dangerous play call, nor did the observers determine that it was a dangerous play.
Looked dangerous to me.
It's going to be here.
It was a great block, but she also drilled her in the head.
Are you guys good with where you are? I mean,
Nothing malicious. The injury call, though, is what brings it back. And Finney sends it deep. Cree Howard reels it in for Fury.
One of the things I appreciate about Carolyn Finney is that she continues to be fearless, almost not taking what just happened into account. The belief in herself to make those throws, even though the previous one wasn't perfect, laying Howard out there for the score. She just keeps continuing to be relentless in her attack, and in that case notches Fury the score. Great layout from Cree Howard.
A member of this Fury program since 2008, the 37-year-old former World Games gold medalist, turning back the clock. Meanwhile, the Scandal fans holding the sandals to try to inspire the Scandals. This is ultimate.
We're going to see Ella Mellick with the pole here for Fury.
OB.
Out of bounds. Scandal is set up in this vertical stack pretty consistently, but what I like that they do is they really vary the play calls that they have. You can see a pick is called, but you saw a player coming off the back and a player coming from the front. We've seen players coming from the middle of the stack, and it makes it difficult for other defenses to poach.
Y'all good with that? Coming in on 5.
Nazarov marking Smith. Now Imanishi switches, and Smith feeds downfield into a Perivier fumble. This will be the first break chance for Fury. Johnson to Thompson to Harris. Here's Ellie Mellick. Thompson plays through the contact from her former AMP teammate. And now Imanishi throws it away.
A little bit too much dancing there from Thompson.
It's a sky ball downfield thrown by Mozafari. And it's the Point's third turnover. Nazarov picks up this time. Here's Thompson. Ellie Mellick at midfield for Scazieri, and throwing it right to the Scandal defender. Easily swatted down by Flores, and now it's Trope. Kelly Ross got really open, and she's got a deep lane, and she overthrows Perivier by a good bit.
You know what's interesting? The Fury players are playing so close to the Scandal players that it almost looks like they're playing person defense. But Shayla Harris is staying at the back of that stack. And that miscommunication about which cutter was going deep, which cutter was going under, the switches that Fury is doing, giving them this, I think, third opportunity in this point.
Stall count rising. Johnson to an open underneath cutter, and Scazieri drops it. I think fatigue might be setting in here. This is the second straight long back and forth point.
And it has been a long week of tournament. I was on the sideline for the previous final, and it is deceptively warm down there.
Fury's missed 3 break chance opportunities on this point. Battle going on right now between Thompson and Trope. Claire told Perivier to tap it back in. And Trope unable to run it down. She was changing direction, scurrying around like a squirrel in the front of the end zone.
Sometimes that back and forth cutting is to your advantage, and sometimes it's difficult to read. That is a almost 90-degree angle. It's so difficult
Jayla Harris connects with Imanishi. Misread slightly by Smith.
And it looks like an injury being signaled behind the throw again. Unsure who called it.
Claire Trope is shaken up behind the play. 7th turnover of this point after a 4-turn last point.
And it looks like it was Trope who called the injury. As this disc is going to get back, you can see the players slowly walking into position, trying to conserve energy.
Cami Groom is back in there for Scandal. Margot Sturt comes off the bench for Fury.
Go ahead, checking ready. We're coming in on 1.
Harris has already completed 1 huck on this point. Good gainer to Imanishi, and she'll rip it long. Sturt just off the bench, and she brings it in. First break for San Francisco Fury here in the final.
It certainly felt like a momentum shift in that point. There were so many back and forth. Imanishi putting this out into space. Sturt outlasting Tremonte there. Focused all the way through. And Sturt has played in the mixed division for a long time, and I think hasn't necessarily gotten the credit on the national stage for how excellent of a player she is. She was actually my teammate a long time ago in Los Angeles. She was when she was playing for UCLA, and is one of my favorite humans to see at tournaments.
Was she called Radar even then?
Radar was her college nickname, nicknamed as a freshman there, and it's a West Coast tradition, so I think that there's actually a lot of Fury players who have other nicknames.
Well, Claire Trope's on the sidelines. She did walk off, and hopefully she's okay to return. Without her, Marge Walker will trot to the brick. Werfele awaits, ready to set the mark. Murphy, the recipient of the first pass. And a tough catch with Werfele in close proximity. Walker resets for Dang. Sharon Lynn with some feisty defense, but Cami Groom ran through it as she needed to. And then the swing reset too far for Jackie Wong. And here comes Fury. This is when the blue wave can really hit you. If you're a Fury opponent, and off the deflection, it's kept alive by the bidding Olivia Goss. Quick give and go with Finney. Back to Finney. Megan Liu is there. We got a call though.
Defense called a foul. Okay. and a throw away from the foul was made. So. Right. If she called pick, what would that resolution be? No, it's not. Continue. Is one? I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for it.
I heard the foul.
Right, and if you stop because of someone else's call, only the player that made the call or the thrower can use that as an excuse for not. Yeah. Okay. 23. I apologize for how I said that. There was tone in there that should not have been there. I apologize.
The goal is going to stand. The foul called away from the disc not affected in that play, and it wouldn't be more than one more until the goal.
Mitch apologetic about the tone he took, understandable. Claire Trope looks like she's okay. Kelsey, do you have an update for us down on the sideline?
Yeah, Evan, I sure do. So Trope actually, hard to tell when she was on the field if it was dizzy or shake it up. Turns out she was actually bleeding pretty excessively, so that's been cleaned up, bandaged up a little bit, should be good to go back on the field. Back to you, Evan.
Yeah, thank you.
That inside angle that Finney threw to Lou there for the goal. Efficient, much more efficient than the previous break point.
I'll just say, and maybe we can ask Jonna, I empathize with Lisa Deng there because, you know, when you're a player and you hear a pick called, it's the courteous thing to do to stop play. But if the thrower doesn't recognize it, play continues, right?
Yeah, play does not stop until the thrower recognizes it. So you have to keep playing. By definition, it's not affecting. You can't stop if somebody else makes a call.
The worst thing is when you have a teammate named Nick and someone's yelling Nick and someone heard a pick and it can be a problem.
And that's why you give Nick a nickname.
Revier sees a deep cutter. Guess who? Trope versus Johnson. She's okay, Katie.
I would just like to say that Trope pulled 3 of the Fury defenders and still got that there. She's signaling book there like she read that disc just like a book. And that's what Scandal's going to need to do. Feel the confidence, really lean into their chemistry and connectedness because they're letting right now Fury's defense rattle them. Rivier puts this up into space. Nobody else read that as well and knew it was coming as Claire Trope. Interesting angle. Reading it. And the crowd is really getting involved. I love that everyone has filtered in for this last final of the day.
Involved in 2 of Scandal's first 3 goals here in the final. This is a Fury team that's certainly different from last year. You know, losing Opie Payne and Jesse O'Connor, Amel Awadel Kareem, Lisa Cooper, Lo Guerin, among others. But the rookies have absolutely stepped up. It's going to be a stiff competition for Rookie of the Year in the women's division.
A zone and poach set coming from Scandal again.
Fury makes a mistake in the red zone. After breaking through the initial wave of pressure, Howard overshoots her target. Dang with momentum. What happened? She just lost it. And then doesn't play defense unless there was a call, and then workfully throws it away trying to connect with Finney.
That was weird, but sometimes that happens. I think maybe didn't know that Finney was there and then trying to counter punch too fast for Finney. those kind of nervy moments can add up, and now we're going to see Scandal get the disc with a little bit of a breather beforehand.
Wong finally picked up. And a low throw. Excellent defense by Howard, and she's waving her finger, reminiscent of the late Dikembe Mutombo. We get a call?
It looks like either signaled retracted or not.
Everyone thought there was a call. We've stopped, so we are just going to restart with the check. Okay? Let's go ahead, check when ready, please, Siri.
Fury's third chance to hold. And that's out of bounds. These are some bizarre turnovers here at 5-3 in the first half. And yet it's an opportunity for Scandal, who takes the timeout to regroup. Last year, Scandal got back to this game for the first time since 2014. And that run was really incredible in 2013. There's just an assumption at that point. Fury had won 7 straight nationals. And we throw back the clock. Sandy Jorgensen, one of the leaders of that team, along with Kirsten Unfried, Kath Ratcliffe, Allison Maddox, Sarah Ito, Ash Sadler, Opie Payne, Anne Mercier, Jenny Fay, Alicia White. They went back to back.
They did, but at that time, it felt like the women's game went through Fury. In order to say that the next team had actually come, you had to beat Fury. And I feel like this season feels kind of the same way. Fury is a team that is super difficult to beat. They never give up. They're super deep. They have so many different tactics. And arguably for the last 20 years, there has been no one as consistent, as deep, and as persistent at pushing the women's game forward as San Francisco Fury.
Be remiss if I didn't also mention Alika Johnston, who is a member of those Scandal teams, still active, playing with Molly Brown. Maddie Boyle back for Dang, and now it's Wallace. And Boyle athletically keeps the play alive. This the third break chance of the point for Scandal. The 5th break chance of the game for Scandal. Still looking for their first. Wallace, eyes were looking deep like she was waiting for someone to go. Wallace might be the best person to go for Scandal. Murphy underneath. Quick reset. Switching fields for Murphy. Looking end zone. And that will work. Lauren Johnson brings it in for the Scandal score.
Persistent work from that Scandal line there to get the break. Really frustrating Fury. I think Fury knew that they had that in their own hands. We're going to see some of the weird turns. That one almost going off of Carolyn Finney's back. The layout D there from Howard. Excellent work there on Wallace. Clearly out of bounds there. And this one almost out of bounds, just over the defender.
So that's one break Scandal's gotten back.
And Claire Trope now on the line for Scandal, trying to get another one.
Trope with a low laser of a pull. Thompson gets to it quickly. Plays catch with Von Depp. And a call, no contest.
Coming a little bit too hot there was Annalise Peters.
Nice catch by Johnson to keep it alive. And then a difficult throw near the sideline, goes out of bounds for a turn. Walker to pick up. Third year on Scandal for Walker. She played with Madison Noyes before that in the mixed division. Kat Ritzman swings it. Claire Trope picked up by Dina Elimelech. Ritzman tempting fate with that throw. Dina rips it down for the Fury D. Whoa, my goodness. Walking on her knees to adjust her placement. Johnson almost made the play in an unorthodox way, but it did find the turf. Some strange turnovers in this first half, Katie Killebrew.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's happening because
saying too.
The defense is forcing players to go into areas they wouldn't normally, and it's just creating almost a little bit of like collisions, as that was too strong from Kirsten Johnson through the back of the legs of Murphy.
Was there a call? Okay, foul, no contest. But also, we are going to give a dangerous play. PMF, number 9. It'll be coming in on 1 whenever you guys are ready.
Certainly looked like a yellow to me. Jonna, what made that a yellow in your mind? We'll take a look at the replay with John in a moment. This is another break chance for Scandal.
It's interesting, though, as we see another stoppage upfield, you can see that the players aren't in great spacing relative to each other. There's no easy angle here for Trope to throw to.
Claire Trope can hit the tough angle. And she's in for the score. And Scandal has broken again. And this game is tied at 5.
That was a really narrow window that Trope had to throw into on the restart. And I think that that's one of the reasons why she's one of the best players in the division. We've seen other people not be able to execute that. And then the quick follow-up of that throw made it possible for this score. That was a turnover block. There were lots of turnovers in the point. I wouldn't have put that one up near Dina Elimelech. Another one from Kirsten Johnson. And that was where Johnson came in through the back of Murphy. And that is the give and go of Claire Trope.
First 5 points of the game, we had no breaks. last 5 points of the game, we've had 4 breaks, 2 aside, even at 5-all. Jonna, do you want to share your thoughts on that play, seeing it on the replay?
Yeah, I think that's that yellow is probably due to coming into the back of the knees. That has a high risk of injury, and that's one of the ways that a dangerous play can be defined.
Let me ask you a simple question. Are all dangerous plays a yellow card?
Yes, all dangerous plays are a yellow card.
Sharon Lynn just across midfield for Werfele. Nice swing from Finney to Rudin. Lou sneaks it through. Finney with eyes downfield. Finds Werfele for the reset. Lefty back for Finney. Werfele, Finney doing it together to put Fury back on top.
Juliana Werfele didn't play very many points or very much at all in the beginning part of the tournament, coming off of an injury, playing in the semifinal and playing here in the final. And you can see why she's such a value add to this Fury side. Giving, going, creating space, and almost taking that backward step to create space with Carolyn Finney. I like that Finney and Anna Thompson are really leaning into their twinning, the number 11 and number 19 there for Fury. Although I wouldn't really want to match up on either one of them.
See Nancy Sun, you see Serge Griffith, Maddie Sang, Idris Nolan, Opie Payne helping out as well. Fury taking a timeout to gain a little extra rest for this defensive group. Led by Dina Elimelech, who rips the pull, and it's a beauty.
And that's interesting. Nancy Sun there must have been making a defensive call as opposed to calling a timeout. Although their defensive play call hand signal does look very similar to that timeout hand signal.
Okay, coming in on one.
Tremonte for Mozafari. Trope breaks the mark. This is Wollaston. And a swing for Flores. And back to Mozafari. Low throw, and across the sideline it goes for the scandal turn.
The Fury defenders are really trying to clamp down on that stack and changing the force, making it really difficult and forcing that tough angle to Trope.
Nice adjustment by Von Depp to keep it alive, and now here's Harris flipping it back for Johnson, who floats it into the end zone for a bidding Anna Thompson. She did it again here in the final. Another Fury break. She is something else.
This daggering through two different players. Johnson releasing unhesitatingly, and Thompson doing a great job to keep pushing, churning with the legs, and then laying out. You can see pushing off there in order to get enough distance on the layout to make that a score instead of a turnover.
That's great. They are doing it more on the force backhand side, right?
So they'll throw an around flip, and then once it's there, they're looking then for the inside.
So if you're on the stack over there, you got to orbit over a little bit to take that away. Okay. Once we get the D, we got to get to 4 seconds. We're still looking for good passes. Look for tempo passes.
Here we go.
Okay?
Hey, don't look up here. Who are we? What do we do?
Here's the thing about the average Fury huddle, Katie. You wouldn't always know from Maddie Sang's message that things are going pretty well. Not to say that he's negative there, but he's always constructive, he's always building, he's always seeking a more perfect organization, more perfect execution.
And also I think he has enough experience in this division to know that no lead is safe in the long term. You have to keep fighting. You can't push, because Scandal is a team that can come back on you. Scandal is a team that can get breaks. And so if you're not looking for those small margins, those things that you can continue to get better on, you're not actually going to keep going, because these teams are learning and changing and making adjustments on the other end as well.
There's Serge Griffith. All the brain power on the Fury sideline, yet to mention Meidi Chang, who's also in her first year coaching on the staff. Played for Fury from 2015 to 2021.
And I believe I saw an offside being signaled, so this disc, despite landing in, is going to come in at the brick mark.
So far in this game, 11 turns for Scandal, 10 turns for Fury. A one-break lead at 7-5. Walker looking for Trope. It's hanging, and Johnson rips it down for the block. That throw into traffic, and possession won back by Wallace. Finally, Nazaroff coming to set the mark. And to the end zone for the speedy cutter, Cammie Groom. 7-6.
I wonder if there's a miscue from the Fury defenders, maybe two taking the same mark, where they were trying to pick which matchup. But because the mark didn't get there very quickly, it made it a little bit simple for Scandal to set up that end zone play. Excellent defending from Kirsten Johnson, but just not enough possession of the disc from Fury on the other side. Throwing into traffic, Wallace doing a really good job to be heads up. This play intended for Trope and out jumped early by Johnson. And this was the score by Groom. Open side at the front of the end zone. Couldn't be more textbook.
I'll tell you, it's interesting how loyalties change, and that is certainly a natural thing in sports when people change teams. There was a strange dissonance, though, in seeing Opie Payne going absolutely nuts when Kirsten Johnson got that block. Because I'm like, Opie was a great champion for Scandal, and yet she's played for Fury more recently, and that's her team today, even though she's not on the roster this year. But it's still a little dissonant to see Opie going crazy for something bad happening to Scandal, if that makes sense, when she was such a huge part of this program's rise.
I think you just have to get excited for your teammate and friend making an amazing physical play. And the Scandal team that she played on was over a decade ago.
That's true. Megan Liu was coming in, and Finney thought she was going long, and it's a Fury turnover, which gives Scandal a chance to break and get this thing tied back up at 7s. Bit of a backpack there. We play through it. Wong bursting up the line past Mead. Cross midfield, Boyle to Oldershaw, and now Gentilette sending Groom. Finney chasing these two Team USA teammates, both in pursuit, and neither can get there. And it's back to Fury on the deep pass, it incomplete.
You can see the acceleration there from Groom, but almost a little bit of a misstep meant that she couldn't step off to lay out for that disc.
Good disc movement in the small spaces from Fury.
Scandal throwing the zone again, which is why they're having to do these small throws, but they're doing a really good job of moving it through that cup very quickly, not letting it get reset.
Maddie saying let's move it before it gets to 4. They're doing a great job of that. The stall count has not reached 4 on this possession. Rudin up the line for Finney and into the end zone, and Fury takes half 8-6 on a short dish to Han Chen. So boring, so pretty. Is that what you heard?
That is what I heard, and having played in the same division as Fury for a long time, that is a very normal thing that Fury would say. They don't necessarily like to play the high-flying Frisbee. They like it to be pretty and concise, and I think that was a really good zone offense position. You can see that by throwing and moving, even though no one throw gained them a lot of yards, by changing the point of attack, suddenly windows opened up, and Chen did a really good job to find the front of the end zone there for Carolyn Finney. Certainly some Fury support in the sideline there. I think that Fury probably has been the most alumni team in the women's division.
Let's go down to Kelsey.
Evan, thanks so much. I've got both coach and side support here. Really unique history. Meady, what are you feeling with that first half? This has been an incredible battle with Scandal.
Yeah, we expected it to be a battle, and so we're just really, really fired up. I think at the beginning of the game, we weren't getting a lot of turns, but we knew our pressure would build, and so we want to continue to do that on defense. And then on offense, just like taking a beat, we play well when we play calm, but also fast. So I think we want to bring those things to the second half.
So Opie Payne also joining us here. Opie, you've got such a unique history because you've played for and been a big part of the formation and history of success of both of these teams. What does it feel like to be here in this game? What are you seeing from both teams? What does it feel like to can you cheer for both? Can you cheer for one? What do you do?
I mean, I'm definitely cheering for a good ultimate. I do want to say, just recognizing the context in which we're having this conversation, right? Every day, like people, entire bloodlines are being wiped out in Gaza, right? And we have the privilege and luxury of, spending 4 days in San Diego chasing plastic. So that's top of mind. That said, like both teams are very athletic. I know I spent 7 years with Fury, and I see firsthand how much work this program has put into this tournament this season. So for sure rooting for my team. But I still see the same elements from Scandal, the athleticism, the sort of like risk-taking, sort of, just like balling out. So it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I saw you absolutely leap your feet, and when Johnson snagged that.
Oh my God, I mean, come on. That was a great sky. and undisputable, right? Yeah.
I've seen you make big plays too, Opie. All right, well, Meady, Opie, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you get back to your team. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Evan, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. It's a 2-point lead, but just a 1-break lead. Scandal will receive to start the second half. One more half of Ultimate at 2024 Club Nationals. We'll take a break, come back and enjoy it.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome.
Regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds, defy the naysayers.
And even defy gravity.
A place where it's accepted that success
doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave, to the determined.
A place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh.
Where we learn to trust.
Learn to high-five strangers.
And eventually, even learn to fly.
A place where character, community, and competition
are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play Ultimate, we live Ultimate.
The 2024 USA Ultimate Club Championships are presented by Discraft, home of the Ultrastar, the official disc of USA Ultimate. Your place for all your ultimate and disc golf needs. Visit discraft.com. We make flying discs fun.
The 6th straight Club Nationals here in sunny San Diego. Certainly become a great spot. That's Robin Fennig and Tyler Bacon from Sacramento Tower making their debut at Club Nationals this year. We got one more half left. Let's hear the thoughts of Scandal head coach Ty Adderhold. He's standing by with Kelsey.
Evan, thanks so much. Ty, appreciate you joining us. Well, Fury hit hard. They hit early, but y'all were able to bring it back. What did you think about that first half?
We knew coming in the game it would be a fight. Every time we've played them, it has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of picking up the disc quickly and moving. So we expected it, and we're excited for the second half. I think we're ready.
All right, so going into the second half, anything that you're telling your team in particular, what are you asking them to focus on?
Yeah, offensively, it's just being willing to cut, to stay aggressive. Defensively, expect a little more zone.
All right. Any players that you're super proud of that you think have just been coming through semis, finals? Who's stepping up?
Allie Wallace getting big blocks for us and open a lot on the turn.
All right, well, Ty, looks like we're getting back to it. Appreciate you joining us. Evan, back to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. And we're down 8-7 at half yesterday and battled their way back. 8-6 today, but still just one break down. And Scandals actually had more break chances, but converting at just a 25% clip, Katie.
It's really close between these two games, or these two teams. In the first half, we saw some high-flying plays on both sides of the disc. We've also seen the disc hit the turf. I feel like I really don't have a sense of the tempo of this game. It hasn't really let either team get into a rhythm, and I think whichever defense can get into a rhythm first and really start notching those breaks is going to be the one who takes home the trophy.
Anna Thompson's layout made it 7-5 there, and then Finney beating her Team USA teammate Cammie Groom up the line, setting up Han Chen for the goal. That took it to half. Tina Ellie Mellick preparing to pull to begin the final half of Ultimate at 2024 Club Nationals.
And you can see the crowd starting to get into it. And honestly, I hope that they start to play more of a role in this, because the energy, these teams have been playing for so many days. This is the 4th day of play for these two teams, and the energy is going to come from somewhere, and maybe the sideline is going to be it.
Fury seeking a 13th championship. Far and away, more than anyone has ever won at USA Ultimate Club Nationals, that's for sure. Mozafari to a wide open Neda Tremonte. Perivier downfield for Trope. Flores floats it for Perivier. Trope the deepest cutter right now for Scandal.
You're seeing that Scandal's having to go through 3, 4, 5 options between one finally opening up. Excellent defense across the board from Fury.
Flores gets free against Imanishi. Perivier laser beam to the end zone. And Verena Wollison brings Scandal back within 1. First 4 points of the first half were clean holds, and we only had 2 more clean holds after that in that first half. This was the 7th clean hold of the game for the two teams combined.
And Perivier doing a really good job to find Wollison in the back corner. There's been some switching. I think Elimelech let that go a little bit too far, not able to catch up if that was the assignment. But Scandal's having to use all 7 players on the field in order to open up space and get an actual open look. And props to Scandal for having the patience to do that. Last year we saw them not be able to make those continued high pressure completions. But like I said, whoever's going to get into a rhythm first is going to be the team that wins. And I still don't feel like I've really felt either team be grounded in this game.
Rachel Chang fielded the pull, dish to Juliana Werfeli. Von Depp back for Werfeli. And here's Finney. Khalees Cardenas, excuse me, number 14. Nice ball downfield. Goss gives it right back, or attempts to, but Werfeli had it disrupted by Allie Wallace. Can Scandal try to replicate the start of the second half they had against Brute last night? Groom coming under. Nice gainer to the open space. It's Wallace. Gentilette. Gentilette has wanted someone to cut to that back corner, and no one really did, and she threw it anyway, and it's knocked away.
In that case, I think Gentilette actually didn't fake backhand, stepping over to the backhand side, telegraphing that angle a little bit, and Sharon Lynn did an excellent job of reading where that was going to go.
And then Lynn overthrows her downfield cutter, and Lisa Deng collides.
Take your time. Take your time.
Defender coming in from afar. They're just getting a piece of their
collision to follow the Frisbee.
Was in front of you and I
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Okay,
That's
so
not,
then what are you calling like I was in your way?
Yeah, like I couldn't make a play on the disc because of that collision.
I felt like I had to step on you and you took my legs out.
Okay, so is there more that you want to check in about with this, or?
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm just, that's not,
Yeah,
I have no call there.
Okay, do you think that's correct though? Like,
I'm just
like a clarification.
What are you asking me to clarify?
Like, would that have been like a foul or dangerous play or whatever on my part?
That's asking me for a ruling.
Okay,
not for a
I'm just talking.
Yeah,
okay,
no, I understand.
But like off the sideline.
I understand. Okay, so we have no call, but we do have an injury sub. Okay, and you're the sub coming in. Excellent. Okay, and so we're going to restart with. And we are subbing. We are still subbing.
Strange conversation.
That seems so unnecessary to me. Like, honestly, I mean, the injury call, but the conversation afterwards, for me, Goss didn't have a shot at that. Dang was in position first.
Yeah, she said she would have had a play if she wasn't there. Yeah, that was called defense.
And the disc is clearly 20 feet from where Goss was, I think, not catchable.
So it's another break chance for Scandal. That finds the ground. Fourth turn of the point. Chang quickly picks up to Harris. Rachel Chang, a dazzling young thrower. Team USA U20 gold medalist, U24 gold medalist, and one of the youngest members of both of those teams out of Palo Alto High School. To Harris in the middle of the field. Lefties it to Finney, who dishes the quick toss to Goss. And Fury finds a way to hold. Two for 10 now on breaks for the game, Katie. Precious opportunities uncapitalized upon.
That was the first block, both from the defender and Wallace running through. That an unforced turnover, and it was Finney to Goss for the score for Fury. I think the Scandal D-line is going to be really frustrated with that, though, because they're not necessarily getting deep, but they're bowing to the pressure that Finney and the rest of that Fury line was putting on their defense. And if one team is taking the other out of rhythm, I think Fury is taking Scandal out of rhythm slightly more. Shayla Harris back on the field for Fury. Seeing these lines playing 2 points in a row, some very often an O and D possession.
That's a Maddie Sang staple.
That was really close to the ground and being a turnover on that pull reception.
Mozafari again marked by her former AMP teammate Thompson, and the deep shot looking for Trope. Perivier. A step from the end zone. Multiple cutters going to that front pylon, and Flores wins the race. Scandal stays within one.
A clean hold for Scandal, which is good because we've seen when they get in these back and forth points, it doesn't necessarily favor them. Flores there did a great job to get in the front of the end zone. Just like everybody else, it was really crowded there in that space. And this was...
Yeah, it hit the ground before it hit her foot or fingers, but it was close.
And you could say Privia here on there, and you can see cut after cut going to that space. In that case, Trope slowing down and letting Flores, who had been cutting up line, get in that space. Really good awareness there from Trope. But it looked like Scandal was committed to that front of end zone look, not really faking anything else to try to create more space. If that didn't work, I didn't think they had an extra look there.
Chang to Chen. Werfeli to Finney. Kat Ritzman again running around in that rabbit roll. Chang directing traffic. Resets for Finney. This is textbook zone offense right here from San Francisco.
And also recognize there's not any significant wind, so there's not an extra defender there in the elements to make those far passes so difficult. And they're doing something that Brood Squad could not do, and I think it's really a testament to the experience of the Fury cutters upfield. They're pulling the defense out and creating opportunities for more than one pass once there. You can see the zone being shredded here because they changed the point of attack all the way across the field to the sideline. The handlers are moving, and because they're pulling that middle player in there, in that case Murphy, you can see as Cree Howard comes in here, multiple opportunities because the wide cutters had been spread out.
Yeah, once that first throw gets through, you need a fire call immediately because it's 4 against 2 at the end there, and Scandal really has no chance. Finney to Howard to punctuate the point.
And it's one of those things about doing the work without the disc. The space creation in a space-oriented defense is the most important thing that you can do on offense. Obviously, you can see the part of the handlers playing. They throw it fast. You make connections. But it's the work upfield on the players that don't necessarily get the disc that make zone offense actually work.
Scandal back on 0 now. Against the Fury pressure. Johnson's been chasing Trope around all day long. Wallace in for Trope. Looking long. Tremonte versus Ellie Mellick, and it's Tremonte surviving the crazy bid from Dina to bring in the Scandal score. 1-goal game.
That was exciting, Evan. Tremonte did a really good job of holding her line, forcing Dina a little bit too far to the end side. Dina, to her credit, making a really safe play angle-wise, trying to bid in one direction and then reach with her hand on the far side. You can see here as the disc goes up, the players are going to come in frame, and Dina bids early, and Tremonte then has a little bit more angle towards the back. Great read from both players.
Play of the year potential if Dina comes up with this, but Claire Trope knew she had it the whole way.
And again, Trope is doing such a good job of being in the moment and not hesitating with those deep throws, not thinking about it. And because she's putting it up so early and into space, essentially throwing that player open, it's so difficult for defenders, even with as much experience and firepower as Dina Elamelek. You just don't have a chance to do that because offense will always have an advantage going first. You as a defender have to react to them, and if you anticipate too far, then you risk being wrong.
Poach coming from Wong. But Fury able to close in first. Megan Liu celebrated her birthday earlier this weekend. Now trying to have an even bigger celebration tonight. Again, Werfele in the backfield with Chang and Finney, but now Finney's going deep. Murphy giving chase, and a great forehand gainer for Liu. Finney near the sideline for Howard. Trope out there for a deep point. Chang's wide open. Howard gains more. And Finney, oh, she had Cree deep. Now she sees her. Howard, no! She didn't get there. And she may have hurt herself.
That was a big impact. Cree Howard had missed an earlier part of the season, missing out on U.S. Open because she had a facial injury. We're getting another look at this bid. Huge layout for Howard and just coming down hard, maybe a little bit on that right shoulder. Hard to tell. But Howard had been pulling the Claire Trope matchup to show you what an impact she's been having in the middle of the field for Fury. Great to see her getting up, but still going to have an injury substitution coming on.
Sharon Lynn enters for Fury. The 11th break chance here for Scandal. Only 2 breaks and 10 tries, but an opportunity to tie it right here. A year of thinking about the unfinished business from last year's final, in which Brute Squad was clearly the superior team on that particular Sunday. Chang sets the mark on Walker, who feeds Trope, who thinks big and then waits an undercut to Murphy. Wallace over the stack. Perivier near the sideline, short of the goal line. Can Scandal punch it in? No, it's an errant reset throw from Perivier, of all people. Finney sending Liu. Shy of the goal line, reset Werfele. Finney's there. That's easy stuff. Scandal again, so close, but so far.
Perivier here just with the missed flick throw. And snatched out of the air by Liu. That was almost too far. And then really excellent work. You can see Werfele pivoting. You can see Wallace drop off. And there's no mark that picks up really early. And then Wallace was split between 2 defenders. Finney there and another behind. Fury just continues to be relentless. All 7 players, every single point. It almost doesn't matter. You know, we talked about Anna Thompson in the Open about how much of an impact she's having. She really hasn't on this day yet. We saw 1 layout, but not nearly there. We've seen Finney, we've seen Howard, we've seen Liu, we've seen such depth from Fury, and that's what has made them excellent. These players.
Does look like Cree Howard's okay. She's standing on the sideline. Just gave Carolyn Finney a hug and cheering as she always would on a point where she's looking on from the side.
A pick or a small collision upfield, it looks like, between Harris and Mozaffari there.
Just in the air 2 throwers, so coming in 1. Coming in on 1.
Smith for Flores. Mozafari shakes free of Thompson. And Thompson, non-contact, goes down. Deep shot goes up to Trope. She makes the catch. But I think this is coming back. And Anna Thompson trying to get around on the mark. Something went out on her.
Before that happened, it was interesting because I was seeing Kirsten Johnson guarding Claire Trope underneath. And you could see Claire Trope at the back there cutting under and then pushing deep. No one between her and the end zone. And Thompson just going down in the foreground, not necessarily a contact injury.
Putting a little weight. She was reaching for that left Achilles calf heel area.
Right there, yeah.
Nazarov coming in, and I think that injury happened before the throw, so Mozafari is going to get it. She hadn't had it for very long.
Anna replaces Anna. Ellie Mellick directing defensive traffic downfield.
Defensive switch there on the handlers. Yang and Nazarov working together. Almost coughs that one up.
Mozafari, power position. Here we go. Trope versus Johnson and Ellie Mellick. Claire Trope takes it away. A tinge of frustration in the spike. Scandal back within one.
You know, we've seen this kind of poach Fury look from that line in particular a couple of times. This going up. Dina maybe going up early. Claire Trope reading that one again like a book. You can see boxing out the space, going up with two hands. Johnson has nowhere to go. And Mozafari not hesitating in this, but the poach scheme, we've seen Harris be in the backspace, and then when they come into a mark, it's there. So it's a really frustrating defense that Scandal has been struggling against until they can get Fury to play person defense, and then they'll score. So it's really a waiting game between those two teams.
In some ways, it feels like Fury's in control. And in others, there's the reality, which is one goal game. Scandal's getting turns, creating pressure. Can the dam break? Or will Fury withstand it and hold four more times? Finney to the end zone.
And you've said about this defensive pressure, Scandal tried to run that zone again, and Fury is shredding it like yesterday's news.
Second goal of the day for McKinley McQuaid. And Finney is having a huge second half.
You can see how much they're slicing and dicing, and the dejection and frustration from the Scandal players.
Donna Thompson getting looked at. Kelsey, do you have an update for us?
I do, but it's an incomplete one. Anna Thompson has decleated, checking out an ankle right now. What I have heard is that there was something that popped. Unclear if it was equipment or ankle. There is pain. no definitive yet on if she'll come back in the game, but if she does, it's not going to be anytime soon. And there is potentially not that much time. So, Evan, we'll see, and I'll update you when I know more.
And I'll correct something I said before. I said non-contact injury, but you saw the collision. Incidentally, the ankles, feet of Mozafari and Thompson inadvertently colliding. Carolyn Finney has been involved in each of the last 5 Fury scores, with 4 assists and a goal, dating back to the score that took it to half.
And Fury throws a zone of their own, changing shape yet again on Scandal. And then after that 5th throw, crumbling into a person defense seamlessly.
Wollaston, errant reset. Mozafari keeps it alive. Wollaston looked like she wanted to go catch it herself, knowing that it was going to float. That would not have been legal, but Mozafari makes the play anyway.
And you can see where there's a player free, and it's Harris that's taking that poach lane or the deep space away from the disc that's allowing that reset. If I was Scandal, I would try to utilize that player a little bit more, giving and going without a defender.
Saying 5, what do you want? Saying 4.
Pressure there as Tremonti tried to change direction. No contest.
Imanishi taps it in. Smith gives to Mozafari. Getting to the business end of this women's final. And Harris steals it away, reading the deep shot intended for Trope. But an easy block there for the Stanford alum. And Perivier gets it back for Scandal, pointing to the crowd, which only adds to the crescendo.
Mozafari calling the stack closer to where the disc is going to come in.
Smith. Trope coming free underneath, and Smith sends it deep looking for Flores, but Harris gets another block, patrolling the territory for Fury.
No matter who she's guarding, she almost always has a sense of awareness of that deep space and is ready to drop off and help D.
Johnson. Intercepted by Perivier. This is a battle of Perivier and Harris blocks. Looking for Wollaston. Trope connects. It's a score. An exhausting point for both teams. But DC is back within 1.
I mean, it may be exhausting, but you have nothing to save it for. There is nothing but this game. These last couple of points were about 11 minutes away from that soft cap hitting, but there's no hard cap. So it'll just be the change potentially in that point cap total. But that layout block from Perivier and D's on both sides getting a little bit more in rhythm. Perivier was everywhere for Scandal on when they needed that defensive possession. Volleson getting free, finding her way, sneaking through the deep space. Trope is visibly frustrated. She's a player who plays with so much passion. And honestly, she's been being guarded by Kirsten Johnson a lot. And Johnson has been very physical. Whether or not that's going to frustrate Claire or propel her to greater heights will remain to be seen.
Fury, 3 points away. And we get a stoppage because of a collision in the stack away from Werfele and Finney. It's dang slow to get up for Scandal.
So just, yep, everyone's set. We're good. It's going to stay. Coming in on one.
Hey, Kelsey, what do you hear down on the sideline there in between points?
Well, Evan, some really strong words from Trope. Trope expressing frustration that the Fury help defense off the back has been so effective. She's saying it looks open, it's not open, don't throw it, find the open person. Basically saying, hey, let's work smarter, let's not make it easy for the Fury defense.
Thanks so much, Kelsey. All good points. Time is ticking for a potential Scandal comeback.
Ritzman on the mark there, signaling no contest to the foul.
Scandal's had 3 break chances here in the second half, but have not converted any of them. And we have had nothing but offensive holds since halftime. Fury trying to keep it that way right here. It's Lynn to Howard with Gentilette stumbling. Howard to the end zone, and Wallace steals it away. Walker rips a bomb out of bounds.
That one's going to come way back.
Claire Trope's not going to like that.
No, I think that the cutter was there, but the execution on that huck was not good. You want to make sure, at least if you're going to put it, that it lands in bounds.
It does feel like the wind has picked up just a little bit. Kelsey, can you share what the conditions are like on the sideline right now?
Evan, I can. It is interesting. It is just now starting to pick up as the sun is coming down. We've had a shift in temperature. Remember Katie talking about how hot it was earlier. It's chilling down, the wind's picking up, and it's coming from the direction of the stands towards this far sideline.
Scandal now 2 for 12 on break chances. Gentilette collides with Howard, who just plays through it. Chen resets Werfele. Wallace was so close. But Werfele now with a step. Scandal's defense, this possession is making life difficult. But eventually Fury breaks through with Lou and Finney. That's 6 straight San Francisco scores, which Finney has either scored or assisted herself.
And I think that that's happening because Scandal continues to play in a zone and they're trying to take away that upfield motion. And the handlers for Fury are doing an excellent job of giving the disc back to each other, eventually tiring out the defense and then punching it through themselves. You can see the fakes and the clear motion that Finney has, finding teammates, that pivot, the basketball habit. As you can see, she lifts the disc over as if it's a basketball, a holdover from her high school sports days. But that pink headband has been all over the field for Fury.
She was involved in one of the first seven, or two of the first 7 Fury scores, and she's been involved in 6 straight. Look at that. 3 goals, 6 assists. Trope, a sliding catch. And a layout block for Dina Elimelech to deny the gainer to Wollaston. We still have not had a break yet in the second half. Harris at midfield for Fury. To Sturt. This is Von Depp. Nazarov moves it for Elimelech. And now Harris gets it around Tremonte. And it's denied in the end zone by Perivier.
Not quite enough distance from the defender on that inside shot. A really difficult quick release, giving Scandal back the disc.
Feels like Perivier is getting every big block for Scandal, along with Wallace, of course. Up the line, ripped away by Von Depp. Every giveaway is potentially game-changing right now. Elimelech had Scazieri in the deep space, but Perivier was nearby. Harris looked off on Depp deep. Now somehow finds the space, and the speed on the throw connects with Scazieri for the first break in the second half that brings Fury within 1 goal of another title.
Scazieri had such a great game in the semifinal, and that's the first time we've really seen her contribute. I wonder if it's because Perivier has taken that Scazieri matchup on the other side, taking her out of play until this point of the game, relying instead on the handlers. And another look at that Elimelech layout block. Inside hand there, just enough on it to affect the catch from Wollaston. This inside from Sturt, you can see, was behind Scazieri there, giving it to Perivier and Von Depp. Possession for Fury again. This inside from Harris to Scazieri. You could see Elimelech had pulled out the other defender. And the timeout being taken.
Who are we? What do we do? Who are we? What do we do? Who are we? What do we do? Fury on 3, 1, 2, 3.
It would be a heck of a flex if at 14-11 in the finals it was, what do we do? Win championships. They wouldn't be wrong.
They wouldn't be wrong, but I think that they are less wrong by saying, well, everything is true. Who are we? Fury. What do we do? Play D. And they have played defense excellently this game, especially when they give the disc up. They haven't let Scandal convert a break in the second half. And Scandal has had chances and let them slip through their fingers.
Scandal needs a hold and 3 breaks in a row. They've gotten 2 breaks in the game, but it has been a while. Last one came when the score was 5-4 to make it 5-all. No doubt Kirsten Johnson has sacrificed some of her offense by putting all of her effort and mettle into trying to do a job on Trope. Perivier looking Claire's way near the sideline, connects with her to the middle for Groom. Lisa Dang. Perivier denied by Lynn, but Trope shakes Rhea Johnson for the scandal hold. And I don't see Claire Trope leaving the field here.
No, but also note that they put Perivier and Groom on that line. They're really having to use the same personnel over and over again to have those clean holds. And now they're going to have to do it on defense. The zone hasn't been working. They're going to maybe have to do something different or try person to person in a different direction. This is such a narrow angle to Trope. Dang lasers that flick in, not letting Kirsten Johnson set her feet to try the layout.
Well, the crowd hoping it's break time for Scandal. Fury 1 point away from lucky championship number 13. The women's division, Katie, started in 1981. This is the 43rd edition of the UPA or USAU Club Championships for Women's Ultimate. Fury has been a semi-finalist in 24 of the last 25 years. A championship brought back to the Bay a dozen times already in the past. 1 point away from finishing it here. Anna Thompson looking on from the sideline, injured her ankle earlier. Police Cardenas dishes for Kanari Imanishi, who continues for Sarah Von Depp. And the reset finds Anna Nazaroff. Murphy hunting. And Murphy injured.
No contact there, but hitting the ground really hard. Those are the injuries that always worry me as a coach, is where you don't necessarily see a collision between two players. But Amanda Murphy has given full effort on every single point. So impressed with the work rate of that player. And it looks like Kat Ritzman going to replace her on the mark here.
Scandal needs a block. Sturt gives it to Nazaroff. Active pivot to Johnson. Fury recognizes the poach. Walker now back on Sturt. Johnson for Cardenas to Imanishi. Nazaroff's going deep. Little congestion near the sideline and sacrificing yards for the reset. Now it's Ellie Mellick sending it to the end zone for the title. San Francisco Fury wins championship number 13. Sarah Von Depp brings in the game-sealing score. Men's and mix, we saw a couple first-time champions earlier today, Katie. But women's ultimate, seemingly forever has belonged to this Bay Area program, who had not won for the last couple of years. They last tasted this in 2021, coming out of the pandemic. And now, after a couple tough losses in the finals and the semis the past 2 years, Fury is back.
I love that it's Von Depp who caught this game-winning score. I think it really underlines what Fury has been on this journey for this season. It is the biggest rookie class that Fury has ever taken, right? In recent memory, they had 7 rookies on this squad. They have, as a team, they have the lowest turnover year to year. It's just the same group of players building chemistry and getting better and better. But the new players this year really reinvigorated the team, brought so much life and joy and really some new perspectives in that as they learned. And honestly, it was Fury's to lose this year, and they just didn't really give anyone else an opportunity.
They're in a league of their own in so many ways. A 7-year streak comes to an end. In each of the last 7 nationals in the women's division, at least one of the semis or finals had gone to Universe. We had some drama, but no Universe point drama, as you know, for the second straight year, Scandal has to settle for silver, and their D-line offense could not get it done. 2 for 12 on break chances, and DC comes up just short.
And I think it's a mark of growth for this Scandal program, because last year in the final we were talking about how they couldn't get turns back, how their defense really wasn't getting it done. So they've grown that defensive edge. They're much closer, but it's got to hurt so much to be in this position and still fall a little bit short. But the joy from Fury, the passion with which they play, it is truly inspiring.
And they aspire for excellence and pursue greatness every single day. And that family has a lot of success to show for it. All smiles for San Francisco. Maddie Sang, Idris Nolan, Midi Chang, Serge Griffith, Nancy Sun, the entire Fury leadership and group of alumni will celebrate one more time today. Let's hear some of the emotion. Take it away, Kelsey.
Evan, thanks so much. So I am joined by Sarah Von Depp, who scored the winning goal. Carolyn Finney, incredibly impactful. So, Finney, you've been here before. Your first time. How are you feeling?
It's really surreal, honestly. I have dreamed of this moment for my whole life, and it is so cool to be able to experience it, especially with Fury.
Yeah, never gets old. Everyone is special and unique in its own way. Yeah, I can't get tired of this. Come on.
So that game, Scandal never stopped coming at you. There were moments where y'all were under pressure, but you looked so poised. What do you remember from the game?
Honestly, I remember our defense. I think that we continued to bring pressure all throughout the game, no matter what they threw at us. And we were a waterfall and just never let up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, the depth of this team, like, they never stopped coming, but they never stopped coming with a lot of the same players who had to work incredibly hard for the entire game. And we were able to run line after line after them. Like, we lost Anna Thompson late in that game. Huge player for us. And, we sent new people in and we took care of business still.
That's fantastic. All right, well, how are you going to celebrate this with your team?
I don't know. This is my first time.
Yeah, it's nice to be the last one. We're going to get our stuff together. We're going to go to McDonald's. We're going to get some treats to, fuel our bodies in a different way than we have been these last few months. We may go to a store and get some drinks and just celebrate together, really thrive in, what we did together this season.
Oh, that sound good?
Yes, it sounds great.
All right, ladies, fantastic job. Congratulations. You are national champions. Go home. Enjoy it. Savor it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Evan, back to you.
Well, what a second half and really overall performance from Carolyn Finney. And for Sarah Von Depp, she scored the first and last goals of the game. Dina Elimelech with the game-winning assist, but this block on Verena Wollasson, our disc-craft play of the game.
And you can see why, getting absolutely horizontal, reading that play perfectly, and then calmly running upfield, seeing that it wasn't going to be a turn. It is that dedication to excellence across the board. And I think I agree with Carolyn Finney. You can't overstate losing one of the top players in the middle towards the end of that game, and it didn't look like Fury stopped for a second. It didn't look like that emotionally affected them. They just kept going on, believing in their system.
Well, Carolyn Finney certainly knows how to celebrate a championship, but for all the first-timers that are experiencing this new feeling, players like Irene Scaziere and McKinley McQuaid and Sarah Von Depp, Rachel Chang with her first title, Olivia Goss. This is an event and a weekend to savor. So many memories, heartbreak, hustle, insane layout catches, and another one for Cree. What a weekend. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be with you for the Club National Championships. Katie Killebrew, your final thoughts.
It's a special weekend and loving the passion that I've seen, the growth of the sport, and I honestly can't wait to see what comes next for these players. A privilege to watch this weekend.
Real quick, this Nationals was different for our perspective. ESPN no longer involved with USA Ultimate for Club Nationals, so someone needed to step up, and that someone was Ultiworld, led by Charlie and Keith and Aiden and Dana and Orion and everybody else whose name I wish I could mention, because so many people put their own blood, sweat, and tears in bringing you these images and these emotions all weekend long. Katie and I are the lucky ones to just get to enjoy it, and hope you did so too, wherever you may be. Thank you for experiencing Nationals 2024 with us, and congrats to Portland Rhino, Ann Arbor Hybrid, and for the 13th time with a 15-12 win, San Francisco Fury. For Kelsey Percy and Katie Killebrew and the entire Ultiworld family, Evan Lepler saying so long from San Diego 2024.